Welcome to a quiet journey through the night, where we'll explore what happens to your muscles while you sleep. We'll move gently through 100 facts about the remarkable work your body does in the stillness of rest. There's no need to remember anything, no need to hold on to any particular detail. Just let the words wash over you like waves on a distant shore. Let's begin with the big picture. Overall, regular high-quality sleep acts as a hidden workout partner. It amplifies the benefits of strength and endurance training, working quietly on your muscles while reducing breakdown and lowering injury risk. Think of sleep as the unseen coach, supporting every effort you make during the day. Sleep is a primary recovery window, especially after hard workouts. When you've pushed your muscles, tiny micro tears form in the muscle fibers. This is normal, expected even, and while you rest, these micro tears are carefully repaired and reinforced, making you stronger. While you're lying still, your body can direct more resources toward tissue repair. Blood flow, nutrient delivery, all of it shifts, focusing on what needs attention. Amino acids and nutrients flow more freely to muscle cells during these quiet hours. This improved nutrient delivery helps muscles rebuild damaged proteins. Stressed cell components are restored. Think of it as a construction crew working the night shift, repairing roads and bridges while the city sleeps. Muscles finally power down now. Let's move into what happens when muscles finally power down. Sleep reduces overall sympathetic nervous system activity. The sympathetic system is responsible for your fight or flight response, for tension, for readiness. When it settles down, background tension in muscles decreases, allowing true relaxation, the kind your body craves. As skeletal muscles relax in sleep, something wonderful happens. The posture-stabilizing muscles, the ones that fight gravity all day long, finally get extended relief. These muscles work tirelessly from the moment you wake until the moment you lie down. That chronic tightness you might feel begins to ease as they rest at last. During sleep, respiratory muscles keep working, of course they do, but they work at a lower demand, a gentler pace. Meanwhile, limb and trunk muscles can enter extended rest phases. They're released from their daily duties. Something interesting happens to your spine overnight. Spinal discs, which are compressed throughout the day by gravity and movement, begin to rehydrate. They slightly expand as axial load is removed. This reduces compressive forces on the muscles that support your spine, giving them much-needed relief. Sleep cycles and rhythm. Let's turn now to the rhythm of the night, the cycles of sleep. Across a normal night, your body cycles through all sleep stages about 4 to 6 times. Each cycle brings repeated changes to muscle tone, to autonomic load, to the very state of your muscles. It's a dance choreographed by your brain, playing out in darkness. Each full sleep cycle lasts about 90 to 110 minutes. That means your muscles experience repeated waves of relaxation and near paralysis over and over throughout the night. With each wave, recovery deepens, repair continues, restoration unfolds. Think of these cycles as gentle tides, each one washing over your muscles, carrying away tension, bringing in nourishment, then receding only to return again. 4 to 6 times, this rhythm repeats until morning light. Your body knows this rhythm intimately. It's been doing this every night of your life. There's a wisdom in it, an intelligence that requires nothing from you but rest. So as we continue through these 100 facts, let yourself settle a little deeper. Let the rhythm of these words match the rhythm of your breath. And know that even now, even as you listen, your muscles are beginning their nightly work. In the next segment, we'll explore what happens during the different stages of sleep, how non-REM sleep brings physical restoration, and how REM sleep creates a unique state of stillness. But for now, just rest and let these first facts settle gently into your awareness. As we continue our journey through the night, we turn our attention to the stages of sleep themselves, the ways they differ, the gifts each one brings to your resting muscles. Non-REM sleep, physical restoration. Let's begin with non-REM sleep, sometimes called NREM sleep. This is where physical restoration truly takes center stage. Non-REM sleep stages are marked by progressively decreasing muscle tone, heart rate slows, metabolic rate drops, and this lowers overall strain on skeletal muscles. It's as if your body is turning down the volume on all its systems, one by one. During stage N2 sleep, something fascinating occurs in your brain. Sleep spindles appear along with K complexes. These are specific patterns of brain activity, and while this happens, muscle tone continues to decline. You're transitioning, moving deeper into relaxation. Your muscles are letting go more and more with each passing moment. Then comes deep NREM sleep, stage N3. This stage is considered the most physically restorative of all sleep stages. It strongly supports repair of bones, of muscles, of connective tissues. If sleep were a healing sanctuary, stage N3 would be its inner chamber, where the deepest work is done. In NREM sleep, especially in stage N3, blood flow is preferentially directed toward muscles and other peripheral tissues. Your body makes a choice, sending resources where they're needed most, aiding repair processes, nourishing tissue, supporting renewal. Energy expenditure drops during NREM sleep. This is important because it means muscles can use more of the incoming nutrients for rebuilding. Instead of burning fuel for immediate energy needs, they can invest it in construction, in repair, in growth. It's an economy of rest where everything is directed toward restoration. Think of NREM sleep as the foundation of your nightly recovery, the quiet, steady work that happens in the background while you drift through deeper waters. REM sleep near stillness. Now we move into a different kind of sleep, REM sleep, where dreams arise and muscles enter a remarkable state. REM sleep produces near-complete atonia. Atonia means loss of muscle activity in most skeletal muscles. This happens as a safety mechanism, so that dream movements, the running, the reaching, the actions of your dreams are not acted out. Your body wisely prevents you from moving while your mind wanders freely. During REM sleep, eye muscles remain active. You can see this if you've ever watched someone sleeping deeply, their eyes moving beneath closed lids, but limb and trunk muscles are largely inhibited. It's selective muscle control, precise and purposeful, allowing the eyes to dance while the body stays still. Non-respiratory skeletal muscles show minimal electromyographic activity in REM. If we were to measure their electrical signals, we'd see almost nothing. This confirms their near-complete inhibition. They're not just relaxed, they're temporarily switched off. There's something else about REM sleep worth noting. REM, related loss of intercostal muscle tone, partly explains why breathing can become more irregular in that stage. The intercostal muscles, those between your ribs, also enter this state of atonia. So breath becomes less structured, more variable, as the body focuses on the brain's activity rather than perfect respiratory rhythm. REM sleep is a paradox. The brain is highly active, almost as active as waking, yet the body is profoundly still. It's as if your mind needs the body to be completely out of the way so it can do its work, processing, dreaming, consolidating, integrating. And so the night continues, cycling between these states. non-REM, sleep, with its deep physical restoration, its focus on tissue and repair. REM sleep, with its near-complete stillness, its protection from dream enactment. Back and forth, 4 to 6 times, each cycle bringing its own gifts, its own form of healing. Your muscles know this rhythm well. They've adapted to it, evolved with it over countless generations. In NREM, they receive nutrients, undergo repair. In REM, they rest completely, suspended, held in stillness. There's nothing you need to do to make this happen. Nothing you need to remember or control. Your body knows the choreography intimately. All it asks of you is that you rest and allow the cycles to unfold. As we move forward, we'll explore the chemical messengers, the hormones and signals that coordinate this nightly restoration. But for now, simply notice how your own muscles feel. Perhaps a little heavier, a little more relaxed, as you sink deeper into this time of rest. The night is long, and there's so much more to discover, but there's no hurry. We'll move at the pace of sleep itself, gentle, unhurried, calm. As we journey deeper into the night, we turn our attention now to the invisible messengers, the hormones and signals that orchestrate muscle recovery while you sleep. Hormones and growth signals. During deep sleep, your body increases its release of growth hormone. This hormone is remarkable. It stimulates muscle protein synthesis and repairs those micro tears from daily activity, from exercise, from simply moving through your day. Growth hormone arrives like a healing tide during the deepest stages of sleep. But growth hormone doesn't work alone. Insulin-like growth factor 1, also called IGF-1, and testosterone support the rebuilding and enlargement of muscle fibers while you sleep. These hormones work together in concert, like instruments in an orchestra, each playing its part in the symphony of restoration. During NREM sleep, growth hormone promotes not only muscle repair, but also collagen synthesis. Collagen in tendons and ligaments, the connective tissues that support muscles, also benefits from these quiet hours. Everything is connected. Everything is being tended to in the darkness. Adequate sleep supports the production of anabolic hormones like testosterone. Anabolic means building up, and testosterone in turn counteracts myostatin's effects. Myostatin is a protein that limits muscle growth. It puts the brakes on, so to speak. But when you sleep well, your body can keep myostatin in check. Sleep contributes to the regulation of myostatin. When sleep is disturbed, myostatin may favor atrophy, the wasting away of muscle. But with good sleep, this balance is maintained, and your muscles are protected from unnecessary loss. Think of these hormones as gardeners working in moonlight. Growth hormone, IGF-1, testosterone, each one tending to different aspects of the garden of your body. Pruning here, nourishing there, encouraging growth, supporting structure, all while you, the owner of this garden, rests peacefully. Protein, balance and fuel. Now let's explore what happens with protein and fuel during these restorative hours. In good sleep, muscle protein synthesis is favored over breakdown. Protein synthesis is the building of new proteins. Breakdown is their dismantling. When synthesis outpaces breakdown, you maintain muscle mass or even increase it. Sleep tips the scale in favor of building rather than breaking down. Muscles also replenish their glycogen during sleep. Glycogen is stored energy, the fuel that muscles use when you move, when you exercise. During sleep, these stores are topped up, restoring energy for the next day's activity, for tomorrow's workouts. It's like filling the tank while the car sits in the garage. But here's something important. Sleep restriction can impair insulin sensitivity in skeletal muscle. Insulin is the hormone that helps muscles take up glucose, blood sugar, from the bloodstream. When insulin sensitivity is reduced, muscles can't refuel efficiently. The process becomes less smooth, less effective. Poor or short sleep can reduce glycogen synthesis rates. This matters because glycogen is what fuels endurance and performance. When glycogen synthesis slows, your muscles may not fully recover between activities. You may feel less energized, less capable the following day. The balance of protein, the replenishment of fuel, these aren't luxuries, they're necessities. And sleep, good restorative sleep, is when this balance is maintained, when synthesis exceeds breakdown, when glycogen stores are filled, when everything is prepared for the day ahead. Imagine your muscles as batteries being recharged, as warehouses being restocked, as construction sites where old structures are repaired and new ones are built. All of this happens most efficiently when you're deeply asleep. When your conscious mind has stepped aside and allowed your body to do what it knows how to do. Your body is remarkably intelligent. Given the chance, given adequate sleep, it will balance these processes with precision. Synthesis and breakdown, fuel storage and energy use, building and maintaining. It knows the ratios, the timing, the priorities. All you need to do is provide the time, the darkness, the stillness. As you listen to these words, your own muscles may already be engaged in this work. Proteins being assembled, glycogen being stored, hormones circulating, doing their quiet work. Even now, even in this moment, restoration is underway. There's a comfort in this, isn't there? Knowing that your body doesn't require your oversight, your conscious direction, that it carries on this essential work while you rest, that sleep is not an absence of activity, but a different kind of activity, purposeful, restorative, vital. In our next segment, we'll explore how the immune system participates in muscle recovery and how your nervous system benefits from these hours of rest. But for now, let yourself settle a little more deeply. Let these facts about hormones and fuel remind you that your body knows what to do, that you can trust in this process, that rest is productive in ways we often forget. The night continues, and so does our journey through 100 gentle facts about your sleeping muscles. We continue now on our quiet journey, exploring the ways your body cares for your muscles through the night. In this segment, we'll discover how your immune system and your nervous system both contribute to muscle health and recovery. Immune repair. Let's begin with something you might not expect. During sleep, immune cells travel to damaged muscle fibers. They have work to do, important work. They clear away debris, the cellular waste, the remnants of microtears, setting the stage for regeneration. Normal sleep helps control inflammation. Inflammation is not always a bad thing. It's part of the healing process. But it needs to be controlled, balanced, so that damaged muscle fibers can heal efficiently after use, after exercise. Sleep provides this balance, this intelligent regulation. When sleep is restricted chronically, immune cell function changes. Cytokine profiles, the patterns of immune signaling molecules, become altered, and this can slow muscle healing from even minor injuries. The small damages of daily life take longer to mend when sleep is inadequate. There's another role that nighttime immune activity plays. It helps prevent and control infections. This might seem unrelated to muscles, but severe infections can cause significant muscle wasting. So by protecting you from infection, sleep indirectly protects your muscle mass as well. Think of your immune cells as a cleanup and repair crew. While you sleep, they move through your body, identifying damage, clearing debris, fighting off potential threats. They work in the darkness, unseen but essential, and muscles benefit greatly from their nighttime rounds. Your immune system and your muscles are in constant conversation. Chemical signals pass between them. Instructions are given, responses are made. And much of this conversation happens most effectively during sleep. When the body's attention is turned inward, focused on maintenance rather than on external demands. Nervous system and coordination. Now let's turn our attention to the nervous system and how sleep supports the vital connection between nerves and muscles. Adequate sleep supports the nervous system's control of muscles. This matters because control determines strength, coordination, reaction time. Without good neural control, muscles can't express their full potential. Sleep maintains and even refines this control. Sleep helps maintain neuromuscular junction function. The neuromuscular junction is where nerve meets muscle fiber, where electrical signals become movement. Sleep allows synaptic plasticity processes, the remodeling of these connections, refining communication between nerves and muscle fibers. Something remarkable happens during sleep. Motor memory consolidation takes place. What you practice during the day, the movements you learned, become more efficient. Muscle recruitment improves. The nervous system learns to call upon muscles more precisely, more effectively. This improved motor memory has been observed in many tasks. Finger tapping, balance exercises, sequence learning. After sleep, people perform better, more smoothly, with greater accuracy. The practice happened while awake, but the learning, the consolidation, happens during sleep. Sleep also contributes to the calibration of muscle spindle sensitivity. Muscle spindles are sensory receptors within muscles themselves. They detect stretch, they sense position. When they're properly calibrated, your muscles can accurately sense where they are in space, how stretched they are. This is crucial for coordination, for balance, for fluid movement. During non-REM sleep, sensory input is reduced. Voluntary motor activity stops. And in this quiet time, the nervous system can prioritize synaptic remodeling. Without the constant input of waking life, the brain can consolidate, integrate, refine. It's like updating software while the computer is offline, so that when it starts up again, everything runs more smoothly. The connection between nerve and muscle is not static. It's dynamic, constantly being adjusted, optimized. And sleep is when much of this optimization occurs. The signals become clearer, the responses more precise, the coordination more natural. Your nervous system has been learning throughout your entire life. Every movement, every task has trained it. And every night during sleep, it processes these lessons. It strengthens the connections that proved useful. It prunes away what's unnecessary. It creates efficiency where there was effort. Even now, as you rest, this process may be underway. Neural pathways being refined, synaptic connections being adjusted, the conversation between nerve and muscle being clarified. All of this happening beneath awareness, in the theatre of sleep. There's a beauty to this, isn't there? The way your body continues learning, continues improving, even in rest. The way sleep is not a pause in development, but an essential part of it. The way muscles and nerves are partners in this process, each supporting the other through the cycles of the night. As we move forward, we'll explore how blood flow and oxygen nourish your muscles during sleep. But for now, simply rest in knowing that your immune system and your nervous system are tending to your muscles with great care, that healing is happening, that learning continues, that your body is doing exactly what it needs to do. The journey continues through the gentle facts of muscle and sleep, with no need to rush, no destination to reach, just this ongoing exploration of the night's quiet wisdom. As we move deeper into our exploration, we turn now to the vital currents that flow through your muscles, bringing oxygen, bringing life. And then we'll gently consider what happens when sleep doesn't come easily. Blood flow and oxygen delivery. Sleep helps maintain healthy capillary function in muscle tissue. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels, tiny threads of circulation, sustaining the microcirculation that muscles need for oxygen and nutrient delivery. Without healthy capillaries, muscles cannot thrive. Non-REM sleep is associated with lower blood pressure and lower heart rate. This reduces stress on the vessels that supply muscles. It's a time of ease for your cardiovascular system, allowing vessels to recover from the demands of the day. During sleep, reduced sympathetic tone allows better endothelial function. The endothelium is the inner lining of blood vessels. When it functions well, blood flows smoothly, nutrients pass through easily, and muscle perfusion improves. Perfusion simply means the flow of blood through tissue. There's a contrast worth noting. Poor sleep is linked with higher resting blood pressure and impaired endothelial function. This indirectly undermines muscle health. When vessels don't function optimally, when blood pressure remains elevated, muscles receive less of what they need. The supply lines become compromised. Think of your circulatory system as rivers and streams flowing through a landscape. During good sleep, these waterways run clear, unobstructed, nourishing everything they touch. The flow is gentle, efficient, reaching even the smallest tributaries, the tiniest capillaries in the deepest muscle tissue. Blood carries oxygen, the fuel for cellular work. It carries nutrients, the building blocks for repair. It carries hormones, the chemical messengers that coordinate recovery. And it carries away waste products, the byproducts of metabolism that need to be removed. All of this depends on healthy circulation, which sleep supports night after night. Your heart works tirelessly. But during sleep, during non-REM sleep especially, it gets to work more gently. Fewer beats per minute, lower pressure with each beat, less resistance in the vessels. It's still working, still delivering, but with greater ease. And this ease benefits every tissue, including your muscles. What goes wrong with poor sleep? Now we turn to a different topic. What happens when sleep doesn't come, or when it's interrupted, or low in quality? Understanding this can help us appreciate the gift that good sleep truly is. With sleep loss, protein balance shifts. Instead of synthesis exceeding breakdown, breakdown begins to dominate. This contributes to gradual muscle loss. It's subtle at first, perhaps not noticeable, but over time the effect accumulates. After sleep deprivation, cortisol levels rise. Cortisol is sometimes called the stress hormone. The ratio of cortisol to testosterone increases, pushing muscles toward a more catabolic state. Catabolic means breaking down, the opposite of building up. The chemistry of your body shifts in an unfavorable direction. When sleep is interrupted or of low quality, inflammatory markers rise. Markers such as IL-6 and TNF-alpha. These are signaling molecules that indicate inflammation, and elevated inflammation impairs muscle regeneration. The healing process becomes slower, less complete. Acute total sleep deprivation has been shown to blunt skeletal muscle protein synthesis. Even a single night without sleep can reduce the body's ability to build new muscle proteins. The effect is measurable, significant, and immediate. Chronic or repeated sleep restriction is described in research as a catabolic stressor. Not just lack of rest, but an active stress pushing the body toward breakdown. This is why consistently poor sleep can gradually erode muscle mass and strength. These are not pleasant facts, but they're important. Not to create worry, but to honor the importance of rest. To recognize that sleep is not optional, not a luxury, but a biological necessity. Your muscles need it just as they need food, just as they need movement. After a normal night of sleep, muscles can generate force more effectively. This is the positive side, the natural state when sleep is adequate. But even one bad night can measurably reduce performance the next day. Strength decreases, power output drops, fatigue comes more quickly. Sleep deprivation is linked to reduced maximal strength. Your strongest effort becomes less strong. Power, the ability to generate force quickly, also diminishes, and fatigue increases. You tire more easily from the same work. Poor sleep increases perceived exertion at a given workload. This means a task that normally feels moderate suddenly feels hard. The physical demand hasn't changed, but your experience of it has intensified. The effort feels greater even when it isn't. Sleep loss increases subjective muscle soreness even when performance drops are modest. Muscles feel more sore, more tender than they would with adequate rest, and poor sleep can exacerbate delayed onset muscle soreness, that achiness that arrives a day or two after hard exercise. But here's what's important to remember. These effects are reversible. They respond to improvement. When sleep improves, protein balance shifts back towards synthesis. Cortisol levels normalize, inflammation settles, performance returns, soreness decreases. Your body wants to be well. It wants to build, to strengthen, to recover. Poor sleep temporarily interferes with these natural processes, but the capacity for restoration remains. It's always there, waiting for the opportunity that sleep provides. As we continue our journey, we'll explore the long-term effects of sleep on muscle health and how aging interacts with sleep and strength. But for now, if you've been lying here, perhaps worrying about your own sleep, let that concern gently dissolve. This moment right now is an opportunity for rest. For whatever sleep you can find tonight, your body is resilient. It forgives. It recovers. And every bit of rest you give it is a gift that will be used well. The night holds us as we continue through these quiet facts about muscles and the sleep they need. We continue now in the stillness of the night, exploring how sleep shapes not just recovery, but performance itself. And then we'll look at the longer view, how sleep influences muscle health over months, over years, over a lifetime. Performance and fatigue. Let's begin with a simple truth. After a normal night of sleep, muscles can generate force more effectively. They respond better to your commands. They contract more powerfully, more efficiently. This is what adequate rest provides. But even one bad night can measurably reduce performance the next day. Just one night. The effect is not imaginary, not in your head. It's real, observable, quantifiable. Your muscles simply don't perform as well when sleep has been lacking. Sleep deprivation is linked to reduced maximal strength. Your 1 rep max decreases. Power output, the explosive capacity of muscles, also diminishes, and fatigue arrives more quickly. What you could sustain yesterday becomes harder today. The endurance isn't there in quite the same way. Poor sleep increases perceived exertion at a given workload. Imagine climbing stairs. The stairs haven't changed. Your body weight hasn't changed significantly, but the effort feels greater. Each step requires more will, more determination. The physical reality is filtered through your depleted state. Sleep loss increases subjective muscle soreness even when actual performance drops are modest. Your muscles feel more tender, more achy, more complaining. They're sending signals, asking for rest, asking for recovery, and poor sleep can exacerbate delayed onset muscle soreness, that deep ache that arrives a day or two after hard exercise. Think about what this means. Sleep doesn't just affect how you feel mentally. It affects how your muscles work, how they feel, how much they can do. It's woven into the very fabric of physical capacity. But here's something to hold on to. These effects, though real, are temporary. They respond to better sleep. One good night begins to restore. Several good nights bring you back. Your body is forgiving, remarkably so. It wants to return to its full capacity. It just needs the chance. Long-term muscle health. Now let's widen our view. What happens over longer periods when sleep is consistently poor or consistently good? Poor sleep quality is associated with loss of skeletal muscle mass and gain of fat over time. The composition of your body gradually shifts. Less muscle, more fat. This isn't about appearance. It's about function, about health, about how you move through the world. Disturbed sleep alters how muscle handles lipids, fats. This lowers muscle quality. The muscle tissue itself becomes less capable, less efficient. Not just smaller in amount, but different in nature. Inadequate sleep is linked to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. These conditions negatively affect muscle health. They interfere with how muscles use glucose, how they generate energy, how they respond to hormonal signals. The effects ripple outward, touching everything. Chronic poor sleep increases systemic oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is like rust forming on the cellular machinery. It damages muscle proteins, impairs their function, accelerates their breakdown. It's a form of wear and tear that accumulates when recovery is inadequate. But good quality sleep supports antioxidant defense systems in muscle. These are the body's rust prevention mechanisms, the systems that neutralize damaging molecules and protect cellular structures. With good sleep, these defenses remain strong. The balance tips toward protection rather than damage. Over months and years, these patterns accumulate. Poor sleep gradually erodes muscle mass, muscle quality, muscle function. Good sleep preserves and protects. The difference might not be obvious day to day, but over time, the trajectories diverge. Two people of the same age following different sleep patterns will end up in different places physically. This isn't about fear. It's about understanding. Sleep is an investment. Every night of good rest is a deposit in the bank of your future health. Every night of poor sleep isn't a disaster, but it is a missed opportunity, a chance not taken for restoration and protection. Your muscles are with you for life. They'll carry you, lift you, hold you for decades. How well they do this, how long they maintain their strength, depends on many things. Nutrition, exercise, genetics. But sleep is foundational. It underlies everything else. Think of long-term muscle health as a garden you tend. Daily care matters. Watering, feeding, protecting from pests. Sleep is like the rain, the regular nourishing rain that allows everything to grow. You can add fertilizer, you can pull weeds, but without rain, without that fundamental resource, the garden will struggle. Your muscles need regular nourishment from sleep. Night after night, year after year. It's the consistency, more than any single perfect night, that shapes long-term outcomes. The patient accumulation of restoration. The steady protection against breakdown. As we move forward, we'll explore how aging interacts with sleep and how the body's internal clocks influence muscle recovery. But for now, rest in this knowledge that sleep is powerful, that it works on multiple timescales, immediate, helping tomorrow's performance, and long-term, protecting your strength for years to come. Each night is both a moment of recovery and a contribution to your future. Both matter, both are real, and both are happening right now as you rest. The night continues to hold us as we move through these gentle revelations about muscle and time and the restorative power of sleep. As our journey continues through the quiet hours, we turn now to time itself. How aging changes the relationship between sleep and muscle. How internal clocks govern recovery, and how those who train at the highest levels depend on sleep for their performance. Aging and circadian biology. With aging, reductions in deep sleep parallel increased sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the gradual loss of muscle mass that often accompanies growing older. As deep sleep decreases, muscle loss accelerates. The two are intertwined, connected like dancers moving together. Poor sleep may worsen anabolic resistance in older adults. Anabolic resistance means that muscles become less responsive to the signals that normally trigger growth and repair. It's as if the locks become rusty and the keys don't turn as easily. Sleep deprivation makes this resistance even worse. Sleep duration and quality are predictors of grip strength. Grip strength might seem like a small thing, but it's actually a powerful indicator of overall muscle health, of vitality, of independence. Those who sleep better maintain better grip strength as they age. In older adults, good sleep supports walking speed and lower body strength. These abilities determine so much. Whether you can climb stairs easily, whether you can get up from a chair without assistance, whether you can move through the world with confidence. Sleep helps preserve these essential capacities. Sleep disorders that fragment deep sleep may contribute to frailty. Frailty is not a single condition, but a state of vulnerability, reduced reserve, less resilience. And when sleep is broken, scattered, unable to reach those deep restorative stages, frailty becomes more likely. There's a poignancy to this. As we age, sleep often becomes more elusive, lighter, more fragmented, and at the same time, we need its restorative power even more. The body becomes less forgiving, more dependent on optimal conditions. Sleep becomes both harder to achieve and more precious. But aging is not destiny. Many older adults maintain excellent sleep, and with it, maintain remarkable strength. The relationship can be protected. Sleep hygiene matters. Darkness, routine, temperature, all the conditions that support sleep. They matter even more as years pass. Circadian clocks, inside muscle. Now let's explore something fascinating. Your muscles have their own clocks, internal timers that coordinate activity with the rhythms of day and night. During sleep, the circadian clock helps coordinate muscle repair with hormonal peaks. Growth hormone arrives at just the right time. Other signals align themselves with the night. It's a coordination, a synchronization that happens when sleep timing is regular. Sleep loss can disturb peripheral clocks in muscle tissue. These clocks govern metabolism, gene expression, the turning on and off of thousands of cellular processes. When they're disrupted, when their timing becomes erratic, muscle function suffers. There's a gene called BMAL1 in skeletal muscle. This gene helps regulate sleep amount and recovery. It's part of the molecular clockwork that tells cells what time it is, what they should be doing. In animal studies, removing BMAL1 from muscle worsens recovery after sleep deprivation. Think of these internal clocks as conductors. They're waving the baton, keeping all the different sections of the orchestra playing in time. When the conductor is confused, when the rhythm is lost, the music becomes discordant, notes are missed, harmony breaks down. Your muscles know what time it is, not consciously, but cellularly. They anticipate the night. They prepare for repair. They align their processes with the predictable rhythm of sleep and wake. This is some ancient biology, evolved over eons. Your muscles have been doing this for as long as muscles have existed. When you maintain a regular sleep schedule, you support these clocks. You give them a clear signal, a reliable pattern, and they respond by optimizing all the processes they govern. But when sleep timing varies wildly, when you're up all night one day and sleep all morning the next, these clocks become confused and muscle recovery suffers. Athletes and training. Now let's turn to those who ask the most of their muscles. Athletes. Those who train intensely, who push their bodies to the limits of performance. Overreaching with inadequate sleep causes larger performance drops than training hard with enough sleep. You can train intensely and recover well if sleep is good, but train intensely without sleep and performance collapses. The same training load produces opposite results depending on rest. Athletes with better sleep quality show higher strength and sprint performance. The difference is measurable, significant. Sleep isn't just about recovery. It's about expressing the strength you already have, about accessing your full capacity. Extending sleep improves reaction time, accuracy, and sometimes strength. Studies where athletes slept longer than usual showed clear benefits. Not just feeling better, but performing better, measurably, consistently. Endurance training can increase total deep sleep time. This is interesting. The body adapts. You train hard and your body responds by deepening sleep, by ensuring more of that restorative stage. It's a beautiful feedback loop. Training creates the need, and sleep adapts to meet it. Athletes who improve sleep often need fewer rest days. They recover faster between sessions. they can train more frequently without breaking down. Sleep becomes a performance enhancer as powerful as any other. Improving sleep hygiene has been linked to better training adaptations, better results from the same training, more strength gained, more endurance built, all because the recovery window was optimized. Even napping can support early recovery when night sleep is short. A nap after training provides an additional window for restoration, though long or late naps may delay nighttime sleep onset. So timing matters, as it always does with sleep. For athletes, sleep is not separate from training. It is training. It's where adaptations happen, where muscles rebuild stronger than before, where the stress of exercise becomes the stimulus for growth. Without sleep, training is just damage. With sleep, it's transformation. But you don't need to be an athlete for this to matter. Whatever your activity level, whether you're training for competition or just trying to stay healthy, these principles apply. Your muscles need recovery. Sleep provides it. The relationship is fundamental. As we near the end of our journey tonight, we have one more segment ahead. We'll explore sleep disorders, daily habits, and how all these pieces come together. But for now, notice how you feel. Perhaps a little heavier, a little more at ease. Your own muscles already beginning their nightly work. The rhythm continues through darkness toward dawn, with patience and care. We arrive now at our final segment, the completion of our journey through 100 facts about your muscles and the sleep they need. Let's explore the practical pieces, the habits and challenges, and finally, the beautiful wholeness of this relationship. Habits, naps and nutrition. Adequate sleep supports appetite regulation. When you sleep well, it becomes easier to make good food choices, easier to consume the protein your muscles need. Hunger signals become clearer, more aligned with what your body actually requires. But short sleep increases cravings for high sugar, high fat foods. The body seeks quick energy, compensation for fatigue. These cravings are real, biochemical, driven by changes in hormones that govern appetite. It's not weakness, it's physiology. Late night eating may interfere with optimal muscle repair. When you eat close to sleep, your body must digest at the same time it's trying to restore. Resources are divided, the focus is split. But a small protein-rich snack before bed can actually support overnight muscle protein synthesis. It's about balance and timing. These are practical matters, the daily choices that either support or undermine the work of sleep. And they're not rigid rules, they're gentle guidelines, opportunities to support what your body is trying to do. Sleep disorders and disruptions. Sometimes sleep itself is disrupted by disorders, by conditions that fragment rest. Obstructive sleep apnea causes repeated drops in oxygen levels. These drops can injure muscle tissue. The constant interruption, the oxygen deprivation, takes a toll. And sleep apnea is associated with reduced exercise capacity and slower recovery. The body can't heal when breathing keeps stopping. Restless leg syndrome disrupts sleep continuity and muscle recovery time. That irresistible urge to move prevents the stillness that muscles need. Sleep becomes fragmented, shallow, less restorative. Muscle cramps may occur more often when sleep is fragmented. The precise mechanism isn't fully understood, but the connection is real. Poor sleep and nocturnal cramps often travel together. Certain sleep medications and alcohol can reduce deep sleep and muscle repair. They might help you fall asleep, but they alter sleep architecture. The deeper stages, where the most restoration happens, become less accessible. It's a trade-off, not always a beneficial one. Travel across time zones disrupts circadian rhythms and muscle performance. Your internal clocks don't instantly reset. For days afterward, they're still running on the old schedule, and muscles, governed by these clocks, don't perform optimally until everything resynchronizes. If you suffer from any of these, know that they're real obstacles, not personal failings. They deserve attention, treatment, care, because they stand between you and the sleep that your muscles need. Fatigue, injury, and resilience. Sleep helps recalibrate central fatigue mechanisms. Central fatigue is tiredness that originates in the brain, in the nervous system. It's different from muscular exhaustion, and sleep resets it, clears it away, restores the willingness to try. Without adequate sleep, central fatigue reduces voluntary muscle drive. You can't push as hard, not because muscles are incapable, but because the brain reduces the signal. It's protective in a way, but it limits what you can do. Poor sleep increases injury risk, reactions slow, protective muscle responses weaken. You're more likely to stumble, to fall, to strain something. The body's defensive systems depend on the nervous system, and the nervous system depends on sleep. Restful sleep lowers risk of chronic musculoskeletal pain. Pain that persists, that won't resolve, often has roots in inadequate recovery. Sleep is part of the solution, part of the healing from chronic discomfort. Sleep supports bone remodeling alongside muscle repair. Bones and muscles work together. They strengthen together. They need the same recovery processes. And disturbed sleep is associated with lower bone mineral density. Everything is connected. Closing the loop, we arrive now at the final facts, the ones that bring us full circle. Sleep helps regulate hydration balance. This indirectly affects muscle performance. Hydrated muscles work better, contract more efficiently. Sleep is part of maintaining that balance. Maintaining good quality sleep helps protect muscle mass, even if total hours vary slightly. It's not perfection that matters most. It's consistency, quality, the regular provision of good conditions for restoration. Sleep loss increases perceived fatigue before muscles are truly exhausted. You feel tired before you actually are. The gap between perception and reality widens. This can be discouraging, but understanding it helps. The feeling doesn't always match the physical truth. Good sleep improves mood and motivation for consistent training. It's easier to show up, easier to try. The mental barriers to exercise diminish. And this matters because consistency is what builds strength over time. Athletes who sleep well recover faster between sessions. We've touched on this before, but it bears repeating. Faster recovery means more opportunity to train, to improve, to progress. Better sleep allows muscles to adapt more fully to training stimuli. The stress of exercise becomes growth. The damage becomes strength, but only with adequate recovery, only with sleep. Over time, sleep quality strongly influences muscle strength, endurance, and coordination. Not in one night, not in 1 week, but month after month, year after year, the influence accumulates. Sleep shapes the trajectory of your physical capacity. Muscles do not simply rest during sleep. They actively rebuild, refuel, recalibrate. This is not passive time. This is not absence of activity. This is purposeful work, essential work, happening in darkness. And in this way, sleep quietly shapes muscle health every night, long before you wake up, long before you're aware of what's been done. The restoration happens in the background, in the silence, in the stillness. We've reached the end now of our 100 facts, but the night may continue. And if you're still listening, still awake, know that it's all right. Sleep comes when it comes. There's no forcing it, no demanding it. What we've explored tonight is the relationship between sleep and muscle, how intertwined they are, how dependent muscle health is on the quality of your rest. But this knowledge isn't meant to create pressure. It's meant to create understanding, appreciation. Your body wants to be well. It wants to repair, to strengthen, to thrive. And it will do this whenever you give it the opportunity. Tonight, tomorrow night, every night you can. Sleep is a gift you give yourself. Not a luxury, not an indulgence. A biological necessity, as fundamental as food, as essential as breath. Your muscles know this. They've been waiting all day for this chance to rebuild. So rest now if you can. Let go of the need to remember, to hold on to understand. Just let these words fade into background. Let your awareness soften. Let your muscles have the stillness they need. The night holds you. Your body knows what to do. And when morning comes, whenever that is, you'll be ready to begin again. Thank you for this journey through the quiet facts of muscle and sleep. May your rest be deep. May your recovery be complete. May your muscles find the restoration they seek. Good night.